I was sent this little drone to unbox and check out for you guys. So I haven't had a drone in many years. It's less than 250 grams. So I don't think I need to have a pilot's license for this one. Anybody know? You got to have a drone pilot's license for drones larger than 250 grams. I believe that's how it is in Canada now. It has an HD camera and app-controlled brushless motor, a downward vision system. Yeah, well, we'll just see what it does. So let's crack this open and take a look at the unit, and then I'm going to have to charge it up and see how it works. And then take it out. We'll take some pictures with it if I can figure out how to work it. I'm sure I can. It comes in a little case. It's a DEERC. What comes in the case? A controller and the drone itself, which is a micro drone. What is this? These are batteries, probably. Yeah, batteries. A couple batteries. We have to charge these up before I can do anything. And the controller. This is the controller, and the controller has a couple of antennas on it. That, I guess, is what holds your phone. You put your phone in there so that you have a screen, and these are the joysticks to control operation. Power, is that for landing? I'll have to read the instructions before I try this thing. Flip. It's got buttons to do things, and what that controls for. Anyway, we'll look at the instructions and figure out how to fly this thing and get a bit of practice, and then we'll shoot some video with it. It should be interesting. The actual drone itself, you flip out, I guess you got to do it this way, flip out the propellers, and see, you got to do them in the right order because otherwise it'll be blocked. But you flip out the propellers and then the unit will sit on the ground or flush. The propellers themselves are hinged, so they're centrifugally thrown out when it starts to spin. When the motors come on, these will fly out and give you lift. The fact that they are flexible like this means that they likely will not break if you bump something, but I wouldn't go on as far as saying that that's a guarantee. If you crash into something, it probably will break. It's very light, it's plastic, and has a little HD camera. Be nice if it was 4K, but HD will have to do. Hey, it's a cheap unit. These are quite inexpensive. This is what we would consider a toy drone these days, and perfect for learning how to fly them. That's one thing for sure. You don't want to go out and spend thousands of dollars on a big drone and wreck it the first time you try to fly it. It's small. It can be folded up and put in your pocket. You just make sure you fold away the back legs first, and then it can be folded down, very compact and stored away. Power switch on top. The batteries go into the back, and they're charged with a standard USB plug. So right now they're not going to be charged, guaranteed they won't be charged. There might be a bit of a charge in them, but I would not expect that it's going to do anything. Oh, lights come on. Okay, so it has a bit of a charge. I'm going to charge the batteries up before I attempt to fly this. I guess it's now waiting for a command from the controller to get it going. But let me read the manual and get the batteries charged, and then we'll take it out for a little test flight. Also packed in with the unit is the charging cable. It uses a micro USB, and they tell you to use it with a 5-volt charger, and it also comes with a set of spare propeller blades so that if you break one you get 8 replacements. And they're numbered too. What do the numbers mean? A1 and B2. A1, B2. So that there's obviously the blades are slightly different. There's 4 of each, and some screws and a little screwdriver so that you can change your blades if you break them. And of course the charging cable, which I'm going to use to charge the unit up. I'll put the rest of this stuff back in the case so that it doesn't get lost. Comes with a little resealable bag as well to keep your goodies in until you need them, because you will need them at some point, I'm sure. Everybody that has a drone is going to crash it at some point, usually in the learning cycle. Comes with quite the manual, so I'm going to go through and read the manual while the batteries are charging. The controller itself is also going to require batteries. What does this take? It takes 3 AAA batteries, not included. Get the batteries charging. I've got one going here. It's got a little red light on it. I'm sure that light goes out once it's charged. We'll get the batteries charged up and then try it out. So like the old AR drone, which is the one that I used to have, it uses a secondary camera that faces directly down that is used for optical positioning, so that the drone itself can see where it is facing straight down, independent of the HD camera that you could be recording your footage on. I've got it packed back in its box. I'm going to take it out. We're going to take it for a little test flight. They claimed 15 minutes of battery flight time, or flight time per charge. I'm taking one fully charged battery with me because I've already been kind of testing it, and I ran the other one down, and it did run for about 15 minutes. I was just kind of hovering around in my yard and trying to take some pictures. The recordings are done on the camera, on the phone itself, so I'm going to take this down to a park where there's not so many obstacles like cars and trees and hedges and stuff and wires, and then get it a little bit of altitude. Okay, I've got the drone out, I've done the calibration, and if I press the liftoff button, it should fly up to about 4 feet and hover, which it does. And of course the wind is carrying it away today, but it should just hover there, and I'm going to just go back on the wide shot here and fly this thing around a bit. And I will put some of the footage from the camera on here. It's not as good as I hoped it would be, but I guess because it's a radio link to the phone and I'm using an old phone, that probably made a difference right there, because I'm using a very old phone to record it on. It's an old Samsung S9. I will say I have zero experience flying a drone. This is the first time I've flown this. I've flown it for like about 2 minutes. I hovered around my backyard and front yard for like 15 just to kind of get the hang of it, but this is the first time I've actually taken this thing out, and it's actually really easy to fly. And I'm actually probably about, I'm going to say about 100 feet in the air here and a couple hundred feet away. And the wind is starting to give me some havoc. I think that bird's pissed off. I thought he was going to knock me out of the sky there for a minute because he was flying around the drone multiple times, dive bombing it. Probably wouldn't have ended well for the bird if he had crashed. Oh, here comes a few more. I've pissed off a few birds. I'm not looking at the camera viewfinder. It's sitting on a tripod. I'm kind of watching what I'm doing. So if I'm out of frame, that's because, well, it's just the camera's locked off on a wide shot. So I'm just kind of trying to keep the drone in frame here. And then, of course, my camera decides to go out of focus, which was always lots of fun. The wind is starting to affect it big time. When I get up higher altitudes, it just doesn't want to. Yeah, it wants to fly away on its own. The wind is blowing it. Let's do it land. Bring it down. Self-landing mode. Hopefully I've got this on camera because I can't really see what I'm doing. I'm watching the drone and just kind of pointing the camera. There it is. It'll land it on its own. We'll take off again. Like I'm fighting the wind as it is now. Look at this. I can barely keep the thing. See, the wind has died down a bit now and it is hovering okay. Still a bit drafty out. We'll take her straight up and then bring her straight back down. And land. Bring her my way a bit. Okay, I'll land it. Hit the land button. And it should come straight down. Here it goes. Self-landing. Wind is starting to get me again. I'm gonna land it for the last time, I think, right now, before I lose it. You can see that the wind is picking up a bit, and these small drones like this, really, they're for fun, right? They're a toy. Give you the opportunity to kind of learn how to fly them, and maybe you want to progress to a little bit larger. In Canada, the drones larger than 250 grams, you need to have a drone operator's license. The smaller ones, you don't. This is a smaller one, so I can get away with this without being ticketed. I think they're a great way to learn how to operate these units. And again, it is HD camera. It records on the phone. I don't know what it's going to be like because I haven't looked at the video yet. It's all being stored on the phone. But in calm wind conditions, they're pretty easy to control. But once the wind starts to get to a little bit higher wind, then yeah, they can get blown away. They don't have the power to compensate for large gusts of wind, and they will get blown away. It also doesn't feature GPS. This is completely manual control. There's no collision avoidance on it. It's completely manual control, so you pretty much have to keep them in line of sight. And they only have a range of a couple hundred feet line of sight because it's on 2.4 gigahertz. So think of it like Wi-Fi. I think 165 feet is what they say the maximum height is, and the range over clear conditions on Wi-Fi are not going to be much better than that. So they are limited range. They are a toy, and price-wise, that's what they're priced at. They're priced as a toy, but I think as a novelty, something to play around with, maybe to take it out in your backyard for parties to get aerial shots, or if you just want to get a quick aerial picture or two, they're probably going to do the job. And I hope the quality of the picture is going to be good enough. We're going to find out when I review it and look at the footage. But anyway, 15 minutes runtime per charge. Comes with 2 batteries, carry case, and you just charge it up with a USB charger. So I think, you know, for what you're paying for, what you're getting is a nice little unit. And it hovers quite nicely. The camera can be turned down, so if I put it up in the air, I can actually pivot the camera down, up to 90 degrees down. You can hear the motors trying to compensate for the wind. It landed on my hand. It takes about 150 minutes to fully charge a battery. So with 2 fully charged batteries, you have about 30 minutes of flight time. And it comes with 2 batteries. Overall, I think this is a relatively easy unit to fly. I've never flown one before. The last time I played around with a drone was one of those, what was it called? The AR drone or whatever that you actually controlled with your smartphone. It was a joke. It used the Wi-Fi on your smartphone to control it. It would have been nice to have had a dedicated controller like this. Makes it much easier to fly. Anyway, I'm going to throw a link in the description, and I think that as a starter drone, this is really the cat's meow, as they say, because it's super easy to fly. As long as you're not flying it in adverse conditions, it is going to be just fine for what it's designed for and for the price. I don't think you can beat this one. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. I'll throw the link in the description. Bye.